listening to the Betmaker Show. This is the PGA postseason Fedex Cup Playoffs betting odds preview for Monday, August 5th, 2019. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Betmaker Show, Brian Blessing.
Hey, we're going to try to wake you up. We're talking golf. We're talking the postseason, the Fedex Cup Playoffs. Brian Blessing and our buddy Cam Stewart north of the border. We are ready to go for the Fedex Cup Playoffs, and they're sending it into Jersey where you can see the fans will be raucous in this event. And there's two things in play, Cam. You bet this week's event. You start looking at the Fedex Cup now, and this postseason run begins. And we've seen guys, a.k.a. a guy like Billy Horschel comes to mind, guys that can get hot at the right time.
Yeah, Billy Horschel actually played well last week too, Brian. We took a piece of him, a nice closing Sunday for a positive finish. I'm looking at him right now at 60-1, and I'll tell you something. Golf's been really tough this year, and me and you are nailing top 5s and 10s, but you can't just play winners anymore. JT Poston, guys coming out of nowhere, Lashley. You got to do a lot of top 5 and top 10 bets to really diversify the portfolio. I think that's what we're going to do last week. We were very, very close, Brian. A lot of guys nibbling. Sunjayim, he just couldn't get it done. We had some really good picks, but that's why we got to spread it around. Only one guy wins the tournament right now, and I'll tell you, the matchup bets were great last week. Webb Simpson over Hideki Matsuyama. Colin Morikawa, he won his matchup bet despite a bad Sunday. And we're going to pick on a couple guys like we did last week, some guys not in good form too. So we'll give you a couple matchup bets along with hopefully a winner.
No, and that's a great way to play it because, yeah, it is hard to lock down
one
a
guy
winner
wins.
of the tournament.
One guy wins.
Only one guy wins.
That's the thing, man. You're getting great odds, but one guy wins the tournament. So when you're betting golf, you can't just do that. You have to find some matchup bets, find some top 10s. If you like real bomb plays, guys at like 80 plus, top 20s, they still play pretty well. That's what I've been doing, and it was still a pretty decent week. It would have been nice if Sunjayim or Billy Horschel closed the door, Brian, but I'll tell you, that's the way we got to approach it right now. That's the thing about golf. It's like NASCAR, you got to spread it around a little bit. Only one guy wins the tournament. So many people play, and and now you're getting really good odds because look at the field this week. You're getting world-class players, some of them like 50, 60-1.
I'm going to give you a Cape Canaveral moonshot. I mean an over-the-moon shot.
I'm listening.
How many times do you see this happen? We go all the way back to John Daly, right? Remember when he was the alternate and no one knew who he was? He shows up at the PGA and he wins the thing. The guys, they're always like the last guy in, and we just saw it in the Women's British Open. The young girl,
yeah.
The young girl from Japan.
Yeah, I had Morgan Pressel, Brian, at 150-1.
You
Fourth
poor
place.
thing.
Yeah, I know.
This girl goes over there thinking it's going to be, she didn't even know the course. She's thinking it's going to be like a link-style course, and she was going to be excited just to play in the event. And it turns out, it was a course you could flag hunt. It was really like a North American course, and she rams home a birdie on 18, and she wins the thing. Andrew Landry, 250-1, played himself in to the top 125. A lot of good golfers played themselves out, and it's not just getting in the FedEx Cup. It's about winning your card for next year and keeping your job. And it's like the weight of the world will be off this guy's shoulders, and he's playing with house money, $5, 250-1. But I'm just saying, you watch a guy like Landry play really good because the anvils are off his shoulder.
Yeah, it's a good point. Take a look at other guys that did well. Mackenzie Hughes, the Canadian, 275-1. He's in pretty good form right now. And what else? Kyle Stanley, another very good player, 160-1. Like, I'm looking at the bomb prices. Bud Cauley had a pretty good week. He's 160-1. You said it. Like right now, I am probably going to take more guys that I like. But you're right, Brian. Guys who played their way in, they're very, very dangerous. They are playing with house money, and they understand this could help them and their family out generations. Man, it's life-changing. You win an event, boom, you get the exemptions for everything else. Just suddenly you got money in your pocket. Your kids, you don't have to go to Denny's. You can upgrade and go get a steak with your family. It's a really nice feeling. A lot of these guys are loaded anyway, but I'll tell you, and it's tough. You saw the Sean Stefanis of the world. He didn't get in. And some other guys, man, that's tough when you're right on the bubble. But you're right. Some of these guys, now they understand. We get in. Now it's about delivering and keep on moving on.
the one thing we should throw out as a bit of a mini caveat, you want to win. I mean, all these guys want to win. But if you're coming into a Sunday and it's all about making sure you advance to the next one, there's a tournament within the tournament, right? It's like, do I risk it and go flag hunting trying to get the win? Or am I going to be more conservative to protect my spot because they all want to get to East Lake?
No, excellent point. And some guys, they're thinking about it. It's like, if I don't have a chance to win, you just want to post a low number. You can see some guys taking some irons out instead of, attacking danger, going pin hunting. That's the thing. You have to have strategy in it too. Not the Brooks Koepkas of the world, the Rory McIlroys, the DJs, the favorites, but guys lingering around. Think about it too, Brian. The next tournament, the top 70. If you're around that mark, you gotta go low. You gotta make the weekend. You gotta figure things out, and then you move on and make more money. So you're absolutely right. If it's comes down to it, some guys are gonna play pretty conservative just to move on.
Tiger Woods,
pass. I don't know. Put my foot down, Brian. It's coming down.
A 3-week hot stretch. The weather's warm. It's the teeth of summer. When he played brutal, it was at Bethpage, British Open.
No, you're right.
Weather was wet, dank. The only reason I'm saying it is he's not 12-1.
You're absolutely
He's 25
correct.
to 1.
And that's what we do. Like, you hate it when people throw the value word around. Well, you're not going to get Tiger Woods at this price. 25 to 1's insane. Would I rather have? Yeah. Would I rather have him or Ricky Fowler? I think I'd rather have Tiger Woods. Would I have him or Tommy Fleetwood? I think I'd rather have Tiger Woods. The difference is he wins. These guys don't. They make money. They're ATM machines, but they don't know how to close the door. Even Xander Schauffele at 28 to 1. Yes, I would rather take Tiger Woods. There's some other guys that I'm looking at, Brian, but excellent point by you. We're used to seeing them in the 8 to 12 range. Now you're getting 25, a little bit of line value after his last tournament because it was so bad.
And like, he needs motivation, right?
Yeah, some guys need motivation.
Everything he's doing is playing with house money, and he got the Masters, the seasons of success. The one thing is, though, in terms of getting that fire in your belly, is he knows that he gets into a 30-man field on a course that he owns, he can win the FedEx Cup if he gets to East Lake. So, current form ain't been nothing to write home about, but he's been away for a bit and the weather's warm. Maybe he gets refreshed. Don't forget, he played the British Open off a 3-week vacation over in Thailand. He knew he was toast on a stick over there. I bet you he's been working his butt off the last couple of weeks, and maybe he comes back a different guy. I could be howling at the moon, but I don't think it's insane.
Is that your top pick there? Because you know what, Brian, I'm looking at it. Well, I'm looking at the favorites too. Brooks Koepka 8 to 1. Sure, he can win every week. I don't want to take him at that price. Rory McIlroy, Brian, he's been close. Can he close the door? He drives me nuts. No, I'm not taking him. I don't want to watch him miss on a Sunday. I do this every week. I don't want to see this movie again. DJ at 16, I'm not sure about his form right now. John Rahm at 16, intriguing. I need a little bit more. Rose at 18, no, I don't think I want to start there. I'm kind of looking into the 25 pluses, I think, where I'm going to start my hunt, Brian.
It hasn't happened yet. I do believe, and basically they're running out of time, and I don't know that it's going to be the case next year again, but I wonder, because when it happens, it's going to happen, and you want to get a price when it happens, and I just keep believing that the Stevie Williams thing is going to kick in with Jason Day.
You know what, Brian? I was thinking that too. It's just he's too far away. If you like him though, he's 50 to 1 this week. I don't think he's a guy I'm going to be betting. It's just some guys they've scorned me too many times. I told you, Hideki Matsuyama might not be getting 1 more cent for me for the rest of my life. He's put me in the poorhouse. I could have basically be owning a house beside you in Las Vegas with pool. With how much money I put into this guy's fund, you know what I mean? I'm just honestly, I'm done with this guy. I don't know what I could eat dinners every night. I keep on putting in the Hideki fund. I got off it this week. I faded him in a matchup bet against Webb Simpson and collected, and I'll be fading him again. There's certain guys, Brian. I can't wait anymore. That's the problem with golf too. We've had guys that have been good to us in the past, and it's really hard not to get off them, but I'm just saying, like, I just can't keep on donating to certain guys. I'm going to look at guys with current form. And I think one guy that I'm looking at, I think Patrick Reed is really dangerous at 55-1. He closed well on Sunday. He's starting to play a lot better, Brian. I don't know how the crowds are going to like him. He's an interesting guy. Everyone rips Reed. I don't mind a guy that smashes some clubs on his knees every once in a while and gets emotional. A lot of these guys are cyborg robots. He's an emotional guy. At 55-1, you know what? I think that's a nice price for a guy that really closed well at the Wyndham on Sunday.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website at betmaker.com. Let me throw one at you, a guy that I would think has kind of calmed down, but I think it's clearly still there. The game is there, and I think the day will come. And he's positioned to do some real damage. It's been a quiet back half of the season for Xander Schauffele. And I could see Schauffele maybe making a late season piece of noise.
I'm with you. And I got to be honest with Brian. I think he's probably going to be my first pick at the 28-1. I like Schauffele. I have a problem with him, though. Another guy. We've watched this guy, Brian. How many times have me and you talked to each other on a Saturday night? Hey, we got Schauffele on Sunday, gags. It doesn't even give you a top 10 or 20 because he can't get it together. 28-1 is a nice price. He is a world-class player, and you're right. I will give him a chance here, and it's not like Hideki, who's been screwing me for too long. Xander Schauffele is still, he's a guy that can win. He can deliver. I love every aspect of his game. He's always there. The tougher the competition, he's always at the top of the leaderboard. He has that one round problem, though. And a lot of these guys, Sanjay Im has it too. We talk about it, man. We had him last week. The guy's brilliant. At the start, at the end, what happens in the middle? Xander Schauffele is one of those guys, puts together usually 3 brilliant rounds in a tournament. One round, he's just not himself, and it costs you tournaments. But at 28-1, I agree, and he's going to want to beat these other guys down. He's kind of quiet, but he's got a killer instinct. Love the pick.
Well, the one thing I would say to you, too, if you did play Schauffele at 28-1 this week, he's 14-1 to win the FedEx Cup.
Yeah.
And if you look at the standings, he's 4th. All right, now Koepka, he's got a 1,000-point lead on Schauffele, but there's going to be a reseed here with the format change. And Schauffele is going to be, even if he has 2 so-so weeks, is still going to be a guy that's not going to be that far behind Koepka when they do the reseeding. If he were to win or have a top 5 this week, he's even closer to Koepka heading to East Lake because he's going to make it to East Lake. So if you bet Schauffele today, you're nuts not to at least put a few bucks on him at 14-1, because if he did win this week, he goes down to 6-1 to win the FedEx Cup.
No, I like where you're going with that. 14-1 is a nice price. It's going to be hard to catch Koepka. He's just, Brian, the guy's an absolute machine, but I like it. At that price, he would be a guy that I'm looking at. I want to get your opinion on a guy that I take basically every week and has been good to me. He didn't really finish too strong yesterday at the Wyndham. Not his best tournament, but it can go low. Colin Morikawa at 50-1. These young kids are showing up every week. Brian, again, like Matthew Wolff, these guys are on leaderboards time after time, week after week. These young guys are not afraid. They come right out of school. You talked about it. Victor Hovland, another guy that's been fantastic. Every time we watch the guy, he's there. He can win a tournament. I'm just saying Morikawa is dangerous to me at 50-1.
Why not? These kids are fearless. If Wolff, Hovland, Morikawa, it's the new wave.
It is the new wave, and that's the thing. Like, if you give me a matchup bet, Colin Morikawa over Jordan Spieth, I'll go to the bank and take out a loan and do it. I watched Jordan Spieth over the weekend. What a joke. You know what I mean? And this guy's 50-1. He's in the same price range as Morikawa. Are you kidding me? Jordan Spieth is I don't know what the hell's going on with this kid. He's trying to figure it out with his driver, but I'm going to fade these guys, Brian. You have the same price as a world-class player. Morikawa's been in a handful of tournaments. He's already got a win. Top 10s, top 5s, everything. And he didn't even play his best golf, and he was still top 30 last week. So I'm telling you, I think that's a bet I'm going to be making it often. Colin Morikawa, 50-1.
You knew he was going to take a big lighter to your money in Memphis. But just out of curiosity, Shane Lowry at 70-1. Things have calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, it's just one of those guys, Brian. Like, we're probably going to take 4 to 6 guys in this tournament. I can't take Lowry. I know he's probably, if we punch him right now and he bleeds, Guinness is going to come out instead of blood. I'm not sure if he's still partying. I don't know exactly what's happening there, but this guy might wake up, bare noodle with an Ireland flag there when he's seeing room service. I got no idea. Is he still drinking? At 70-1, Shane Lowry's a good player, but I'm going to stay away from him. I think that British Open hangover lasts till the end of the summer. Pass.
How about a price you never see? Dustin Johnson at 16-1.
That's another thing. We get DJ at 8-1. He's at 16, double the odds. I got to be honest though, Brian, a cool, calm demeanor. But where's the killer instinct? The difference between him and Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka puts his foot on your throat, where Dustin Johnson will continue to miss putts. He'll be there. 16-1, though, you said it. That's an excellent price. You're never going to get Dustin Johnson. Usually, he should be probably at 8-10. You're getting 16. I see value in that line, but I just can't bet everybody, and I'm going to take a shot with a guy like Schauffele at 28, so I'm going to pass on DJ. Hope I don't get burned.
How about Francesco Molinari at 40?
Great price. That's another guy I was looking at. Like, I'm looking at my guys.
I might take it.
I think so too. Molinari at 40, Schauffele at 28 looks good to me. Morikawa at 50. Hell, Horschel played pretty good last week. Those are guys that I'm going to be targeting too. Excellent point. Molinari, and he brings his A game when he plays with the best in the world. He's not afraid of anybody, and when he goes low, Brian, we've seen him before. He can run away with the tournament on a Sunday and beat you by 8 or 9 shots. That's what I like about him. I don't have to worry about him spraying 3 in the trees when we have a lead in a tournament and you're texting me losing your mind going, I can't believe this is happening again. We had a 5-shot lead and our guy shoots a 76 on Sunday. Like, no. The thing about Molinari, he can deliver. Great price for a player of his ilk. 40-1, amazing.
No, I think you're onto something there in that, he's not scared of his own shadow when that moment comes. And oh, by the way, he has not played. If I'm reading this correctly, he skipped Memphis.
Yeah, he did.
So Molinari, you know what? I just landed on it. That's it for me. He was 11th in the Open, and he has not played since then. I think fresh as a daisy to make a push here. I think Molinari's a good play for both this week and for the FedEx Cup.
I agree with you 100%. Molinari's going to make he checks all the boxes. And the best thing about him is he doesn't get the respect. Like, look who's ahead of him. Cantlay, all these other guys. I love Patrick Cantlay. Don't get me wrong, but Molinari at 40, that's insane. He should be 28, 30 tops. So I think at 40-1, because of the strength in field, we get a really, really nice number on Molinari. Brian, yeah, let's do the Italian jig, buddy. Francesco Molinari style. We're in.
He's 60-1 to win the FedEx Cup. He's 40-1 this week. The points he's going to pick up probably gets him into the top 8 or 9. And then another good week next week. All of a sudden, you're in there with a puncher's chance. I think it's worth a flyer. I mean, he's isn't it amazing that it's been such a solid 2-year run for this guy? And believe me, he's still an afterthought for so many people.
Yeah, well, we watch golf every shot of every tournament. He's not an afterthought for me. And the thing, as I mentioned before, why I like him compared to other players is on Sunday, I can count on him. When he has a lead and a guy's breathing down his neck, I can count on him. Same as Brooks Koepka. I'm not worried about him gagging, doing something stupid, getting loose with the driver, or changing his routine. Francesco Molinari, I've watched him pull away from guys, and I love that. Some people want to battle down the stretch. I don't, Brian. I want my money, and I don't have to worry about it because I've been burned too many times. I'm talking to you, Sanjay. I'm talking to you, Hideki Matsuyama. I'm talking to all you turkeys. You're not getting my bets anymore. I'm done. You know what? The Italian Francesco Molinari, I got to think about it, Brian. He's come through for me in the Open Championship. He's come through for me in tournaments. I don't have any ill will towards him. Actually, I'm going to ride this guy the way Junior Alvarado rides that horse on turf, buddy. Give it to me. Give me the Italian Molinari at 40.
Molinari goes to the whip.
Exactly. I'm in.
It's Northern Trust Open. It's the FedEx Cup Playoffs. This season went by in a flash, kiddo.
Sure did, man. Football's right around the corner. I'm telling you, where did the summer go? You said it, Brian. It's I feel like I'm taking a bath in gravy right now. It's getting a little hotter, but soon fall's going to be here. It's great. Golf did a really good job this year, too. I love golf, but when it's over, we get into football mode. These guys understand we're not going to compete with football right now. They did a great job with the majors this year, and I think thumbs up to the PGA Tour and the guys who make the decision. excellent year, putting the majors in, the months consecutively. I think it's on the rise, and it's gotten more people involved that kind of watch the sport casually. I know a lot more people playing DFS and betting golf now. They did a great job.
He's Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing. We love talking golf with you.
Betmaker, let's make some money tonight.
Well, that's the Betmaker Show for now. We publish multiple times each week. We'd like to thank you for listening, and if you liked what you heard, please take a moment to leave a rating and review, or subscribe to our show feed, or share our show with a friend or two and help us grow the show. We very much appreciate it. Visit us on the web at betmaker.com. And reminder to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks to our engineer, Darren Vandermolen, and producer, Mike Gallivan. The Betmaker Show is a production of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated. Betmaker is a registered trademark. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this content without the express written consent of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and/or interpersonal relationships. At Betmaker.com and the Betmaker Show, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.